Hey, good morning. Hope you're doing well today. This is Jerry with AG Capital. If you don't know me, I apologize for that and take full responsibility. We're going to fix that. Hey, if you log into this and it inspires you, if you learn something, if this motivates you to take action, share the stream, please. Share the stream. Make sure that someone else has the chance to see the same thing that you're seeing. It could change someone's life very easily. So this morning, I wanted to talk about control. And the reason I wanted to talk about control is it is something in my life that I've had to redefine and relearn. And what I mean by that is this. When I grew up, somewhere along the way, the word control became a poisoned definition for me. I thought it meant something bad. And so I would be like, man, I don't want to be controlling. I don't want to have too much control. I don't want to over control. And I want to talk today about why it's important to have full control over the things in your life that matter. So if you look up the definition of control, when you go back to the etymology, the root of where that word originated from, it was like the 14th century, and it basically means to regulate, to monitor, to exert authority over. Okay? And so a lot of times when we think control, we think it's a bad thing. And the reality is control did not become a negative term until about 1960. Okay, so in the 1960s, the term control freak became popular. And so when people say, I don't want to be controlling, what they're probably really saying is they're looking at the freak part of that phrase. I don't want to be a freak. They don't understand control. And so control means to have authority over, to regulate, to monitor, and that's something that's important. So right now I'm driving my vehicle, right? How important is it for me to have control over the vehicle? Right? Like, I want to be a control freak over my car. I want to make sure that it goes where I want it to go, that when I hit the gas, it speeds up the way I want it to speed up. When I hit the brake, it brakes the way that I want it to brake. And so that's where, control is something that is desired. And the more control I have over the vehicle, the better off I am and the better off everybody else is, right? I don't have kids yet, but if I did have kids, I would want to have control over my kids. If I went to the store, I would want to have control over them. I would want to be able to regulate and exercise authority over them to make sure that they behave, that they're not being ridiculous in the store and throwing tantrums and stealing food and, peeing in the aisle and doing whatever else, right? So control is something that you want to have over the important areas of your life. And oftentimes, if you're like me, when we have disliked the term control, usually it's because we had a bad experience with it. Okay? Usually when somebody doesn't like control, it means that they have quit on control and they are now justifying why they don't have control and why they quit on having control. And so we'll generally make the control a bad thing, whether the experience that was negative is real or not. We will make up a scenario and say, I tried to have control and it didn't work, and it's all control's fault. It's not my fault, it's the term control's fault, and therefore control is a bad thing. And so anytime we have not liked control, it's because it didn't work out the way we wanted it to. We ended up having bad control, right? So if I am driving my vehicle and I get in a wreck, and my definition of control is getting in a wreck with my vehicle, then of course I'm going to say, hey, control is a bad thing, right? But if I control my vehicle and I get safely from destination A to destination B, and I get there, in the timeline that I desire, and everything works out great, then I'm going to enjoy control. Okay? So anything that you have control over is going to flourish and prosper, especially if you're exercising good control. Like my vehicle analogy, if you're exercising good control and you're making sure that you operate properly and you're micromanaging and you're doing all the right things to make sure that you get from your current destination to the right destination, then control is going to equal success. Okay? But if we give up control, we basically make it to where we become the effect of our environment rather than being the cause of our environment. So if I give up control, what I'm really doing is I'm saying, hey, I no longer am the cause of my goals. I no longer am the cause of my environment. I no longer am the cause of the people, things, and outcomes around me. Instead, I'm the effect. Everything starts happening to me. And whether I like it or not, that makes me a victim. And I do not want to be a victim. I want to be a victor, right? So I want to be victorious. I don't want to be a victim. So that's what I wanted to share today. That was on my mind. It's something that I'm growing on. Most of these videos that I do, by the way, are for me, and I share them because I think it might help other people. So that's something I am currently growing in. Again, if you're watching this, you never seen me before, I'm Jerry. I'm with a company called AG Capital Group. We help small and large businesses save 50% on their overall health insurance costs. We drop their per employee cost to $200 a month. We provide a free wealth creation formula for all of the employees to ensure that there's a reduction in turnover and an increase in productivity. If you're an individual, or maybe you have a family and you're trying to get wealthy, we help with that too. So we help individuals and families increase their income, increase their saving, and multiply their wealth through investing. And typically it's going to be in cash flowing assets like real estate, private lending, things like that. So go to my website if you're interested in learning more about that. I'm going to post it in the comments below. Again, share the stream. I personally, my mission in life is to empower millions of leaders to own their God-given ultimate potential. Again, I said millions, and so that means that I can't do that by just knowing thousands of people. So the way that I'm going to get there is through you guys sharing me like a disease. You're going to pass me around, and I'm going to get involved with other people in your life. And that can only happen if you guys share and I become known by other people. So thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and sign out here and get on with my morning. Have a great Tuesday. If Monday did not go the way that you wanted it to, I challenge you, exercise control over your Tuesday. Micromanage your Tuesday. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. If you're able to have good control and get the desired outcome, then maximizing control will maximize the success. So have a great Tuesday. I will talk to you guys next time.